Welcome to News to Know. Today is Tuesday, July 5th, 2022, and here's the news you need to know. We begin today in Denmark, where a 22-year-old gunman entered the nation's largest mall and opened fire. 3 people were killed, and another 7 were shot. The mall is a popular place for young people to gather, and was particularly crowded because of a nearby concert. The police subdued the shooter 15 minutes after being alerted to the incident. The shooter shot people at random, making a motive difficult to surmise. After an appearance before a judge, the suspect was remanded to a closed psychiatric facility for 24 days. It is unclear what next steps will be taken against him. Gun violence in Denmark is extremely rare, and mass shootings are almost unheard of. This incident has shocked the entire nation. Meanwhile, in Ukraine, the city of Lysychansk has fallen completely into Russian hands. With this, the Russians now control the entire Luhansk region. Russian President Vladimir Putin has congratulated his armed forces in Luhansk, telling them to rest and rebuild their strength for the next segment of the war. He said that Russian forces in other parts of Ukraine should continue fighting on. Putin added that he hopes the rest of the war will have a similar outcome to Luhansk. In Australia, tens of thousands of suburban residents around Sydney have been ordered to evacuate their homes due to intense rain and flooding. Over the past 3 days, the region has experienced between 7 inches to over a foot of rain. This is more than a month's worth of rain in 3 days. The area had previously experienced major flooding in March and April of this year, as well as in 2021. In Bulgaria, 70 Russian diplomats have been expelled from the country. The Bulgarian Prime Minister said that while the Russian diplomats were working against Bulgarian interests, Bulgaria still desires to have diplomatic ties with Russia. Russia has threatened to close its embassy in Bulgaria's capital, Sofia, as well as closing the Bulgarian embassy in Moscow. Relations between the two Slavic nations have soured since Bulgaria began enforcing international sanctions against Russia earlier this year. In response, Russia cut off all gas exports to Bulgaria in April. In the world of religion, Pope Francis has declared in an interview with Reuters that he will not be resigning as pontiff of the Catholic Church. Speculation of an upcoming retirement announcement began when it was revealed that Pope Francis will be visiting the Italian city of L'Aquila sometime in the next coming months. L'Aquila holds the tomb of Pope Saint Celestine V, who resigned as Pope in 1294. Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI visited L'Aquila 3 years before announcing his retirement. Pope Francis had previously said that he would consider retiring as Pope if his health were to significantly deteriorate. While the Pope has been using a wheelchair lately due to his bad knees, Vatican observers have pointed out that it is unlikely that Pope Francis would retire while Benedict XVI lives. Pope Francis is currently 85 years old, while Pope Emeritus Benedict is 95. In the world of sports, it was announced that former Ozeki Takayasu will not be competing in the upcoming July Basho in Nagoya. Neither he nor any other wrestler from his stable will be competing due to one of them contracting COVID. Even though Takayasu lives outside his stable with his wife and 2 children, repeated negative tests are insufficient to convince Sumo authorities to allow him to wrestle. His rank will be held firm for the September Basho, because his sitting out of the July tournament is COVID related. And finally today, on the happier side of things, Reading Library in South London, England, has received an overdue library book 48 years after it was borrowed. The book was checked out in 1974 and was returned by mail. The borrower, Tony Spence, is originally from England, but is now a retired judge in British Columbia, Canada, 4,600 miles away from the library. He found the book in a box along with old magazines and decided to return it. He thought the librarians would get a kick out of it. The library had no record of the book being checked out since it predates their computerization. The slip in the book confirms the date of checkout. The library, for its part, announced that it would be forgiving the overdue book fee of £6,170, which is equivalent to 7,400 US dollars. And now you know the news. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time, good night and God bless.